everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working some more on my vintage Christmas junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi. We'll get started on this in just a minute. We are currently live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay either here or over on YouTube. I'm going to get you guys pulled up so I can see chat, make sure the sound is okay. Alright, got that. Let's see. Dawn says the sound is good. That's awesome. And got a couple people on. We're looking good, guys. Okay, so today we're going to do a little kind of sort of a planner thing for the center of one of these pages. That Christmas junk set that I bought by Photoplay. Hold on, it said trying to reconnect. By Photoplay is I like a lot of planner things in it. So we're going to try to do that, and I think it'll work out. I had to do some sewing off camera because it's just too complicated to try to do it up on this desk. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull this camera up top and we'll get started. Straight. Sort of. Hey, Lori. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, it's Photoplay. I had to go pull it up and look. So this set here has just had some planner things in it. So it's got this sticker sheet too. I'm gonna use that sooner or later. So let's see. Sorry guys, I'm kind of tired today. Trying to get the energy here. Let's see here. What do we got? So we've got our 3 signatures, and each one, has a center page. I don't know why that one's backwards. Did I decide to do it backwards for some reason? I have no idea. It's not supposed to be backwards. Pretty sure it's not. Anyway, so center page. And we're going to do it in this one. The other 2 have words. This one has trees. Not that you'll be able to see that much of it when I'm done anyway. So I think I'm going to do the one with the trees. Okay. So that's the plan. I did, last time we were on, was it this? I think it was this little, was it? I'm kind of at a loss now. I don't know if that's what it was or not. Is that what I did last week? Or what is today? This is Monday, right? Yeah, so Friday. It's been too long now, I can't remember. I think that's what I did. If so, I did one in the other journal that is similar. So I did this one. So it's slightly different. It's not that different, but it's slightly different. So let's see what's different here. Okay, so it's got, a different picture because I only had, one of those. Other than that, pretty much the same. This little thing was different because I only had a little bit of that. And then inside, same thing, just that's different. But otherwise, it is pretty much the same. So that's what I did in the green journal. I haven't trimmed this yet. I might trim it. Okay. together. And then I will do the same thing we're doing today in this one and one of these. Merry Christmas, and I think we have a tree one. So probably this tree one, probably the same. Just because it's the only one that's kind of a little bit different. So here's the paper, except the poinsettia. So this is what it comes with. So it comes with this little calendar. These it came with these pieces, and I backed them onto some red cardstock, and then I sewed a piece of transparency sheet. It's basically acetate sheeting to the front of them so that they can be right on wipe off type of thing. And you could also journal on the back of them. So I've got those. I just sewed them off camera. It was very, very basic. I just took the transparency sheet, wrapped it around, and sewed it. And the transparency sheets I've been using are these that I got a long, long, long time ago. So I just use these. You can use just packaging too. Any of your packaging will work. Like a piece like this would work just fine. But I had this, and I knew for sure that you could write on this, so I went ahead and did that. And get this put back in there. Let's see. Let me find the second set of those real quick. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping everything, guys. I have too much stuff on my desk. Christmas junk. Okay. So I've got the second set in here, and you see it just came like this with the two pieces, and then these little numbers. And these have a backing, but I decided to use the red instead on it. So this is my second set for the other journal, because this particular paper pad came with two of everything. Okay, so get it back in there. So then I made this little vellum folder, and what I did is I took one of my embossing folders. With this one has holly on it, and I took it, ran it through my embosser onto a sheet of vellum, and then I just folded it and sewed around it. And then at the very top, you can kind of see there's a little, let me see if I can put something dark there. There's a little notch. Can you see the notch? I haven't inked it. It's hard to see when it's not inked. So a little notch there so that those can go in there. So that's what I did off camera. You can sew the vellum pretty good. The trick is just make sure you use your longer stitch. Otherwise, if you get too close, it'll perforate and then it'll just kind of fall apart. But it does pretty good as long as you keep the stitch longer, or even zigzag works okay. But mine doesn't do zigzag so well, So these are my pieces, and then I went through my papers and found a paper that I thought would go with this. I'll tell you what pad that's from in a minute, because it has these poinsettias at the top here with the berries and the holly, and it matched quite well to this paper. So I'm going to use that paper for a background. And let's see, what pad is that from? Is it this one? It is from Vintage Christmas, and that's from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so let's put all this together and make a fun little center page. So like I said, I'm just going to do it on this page here, because I thought just putting in the center, because it's such a big calendar. I was like, what on earth am I going to do with that? Because it's so big. So I just, you know, a spread. So I thought about putting it straight in the center, but then I didn't have room to put these on the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it where the Tuesday line is, between Tuesday and Wednesday, and that'll be my center. So I'm going to score that and fold it. And then this is going to go here, just on the edge there. And then we're going to put this backing on. I'm going to cut it down a little bit for a pocket for these guys. So I got to figure out how big I want that. I might cut this one down just a little bit more. It's kind of snug. I trimmed off a little on the edges because it's hard to make it fit and still have room for this. Just take a tiny bit more off of that one. Now, as far as writing on this one, I didn't do the acetate on this one. I debated on it, and I was like, you know, I don't think I'm gonna. These can be glued on wherever you decide you want. So say the person who buys it this year, but Christmas is already passed or whatever, then, well, technically Dawn bought this one. But if you wanted to start doing it on next year, you could, you know, put the dates on the calendar that works for that particular year, is all I'm saying. So that's why I'm not attaching these ahead of time. I'm going to let the person who buys it do it, and I have the two, so that, you know, it can be adjustable for whatever year it is. And if you don't want to put dates here, you could use these to do like a December daily for other pages or whatever. You know, they can come in handy somewhere along the line. But they're going to go in here. I need to ink that a little bit. I meant to do it before I sewed it, but I forgot. So I'm just going to throw some ink on there. I'll just do vintage. I did ink around this calendar already, and I inked around these before I sewed them. Let's see if we can get a little bit of ink in here. Kind of snug, but I think I can do it. If I can get it to open. You know what? I'm just going to use my bone folder. There. I just don't want to get it on the back side. Normally I would do this before I sewed it, and then I'll put it here. Just enough to give it a little bit more of a finish. And this vellum I'm using, I got off of Amazon. It's a heavy duty vellum. So it's got a decent weight to it. I'll show it to you in just a second. Most of you have seen it, but there's usually somebody new watching. So it is this vellum. It's called Oplymio. I can't say that word. I don't know what that word is. We'll say Oplymio maybe. It is 167 GSM, thick vellum, 42 sheets. It should be on my favorites list on my Amazon link, which is in two places. It'll be on the description in the YouTube of this, and it is also on my disclosure on my Facebook page. For if you're looking for supplies that I've used, I try to put everything I bought from Amazon in there. If it was from other places, then I just put the information on the YouTube description so that you have that. So now I just need to figure out how big I want this backing. I don't want to cover all of this page, but I do want it big enough that I can make this into a pocket. So the pocket's going to be like behind this. This will be like this. And then the pocket will be between here and this page. So like that. So it has to be maybe just like maybe an inch bigger on each side. So not quite this big. I think that should do it because I gotta allow room for glue and all that. So, and I'm just gonna, I think I'll fold it before I glue it because this is gonna be sewed in, these two pieces together. Actually, I might glue it to this first once I cut it. All right, so let's figure out a size. I think, so if I allow like 1/8 of an inch for glue, maybe just a little bit bigger than that. That should be feasible. So what is that? It looks like about 1 inch. About 1 inch? Not quite. So 3/4 of an inch on each side of this. So we'll just mark 3/4 of an inch over here. I'm just kind of approximately. So 3/4 of an inch there, and then the other direction just needs to fit the page. I don't think I'm going to have it go all the way to the edge where the vellum is. Let me see how that looks. If I do it like this, I have this like, what did I say, Tuesday, so here. The question is, do I want it behind halfway or all the way? It's just, there's so little room. If I do just a tiny little bit on that side, yeah, I think I'm gonna go behind all the way. So maybe just like, we'll say 1/8 of an inch from the side. Let's see if that's enough room. If I put it on the Tuesday mark there, approximately. I'm trying to get it to fit just inside there. That'll be close. I think I could do it. So I'm only going to leave like 1/8 of an inch there. So I'll just mark this at about 1/8 of an inch. About. You see this? I have a new chalk pencil. I've been using this little bitty nub for forever. I finally grabbed me a pack of 2. These are also on my Amazon list, and I'm not affiliated, but I just put it on there for y'all. They're just these General's chalk pencils. They work real well. I use them all the time. Get it back in my folder. Okay, so let me cut that real quick. Hey, Bonnie. I know you said hi because I saw Dawn say hi. Okay. So, let me find that other mark. Where is it at? I don't want to lose it when I cut that piece, and you know I will. I've lost that one. What's up, chalk pencil? You're not showing very good. I see one of them. I'll cut the one I see, and then I'll mark the other side. Not sure why I can't see it. Try it again. It's there. It's just barely showing. I don't know if I have it over far enough. I might go. No, that should be all right. We'll cut it there. I think it's because that chalk pencil's new and I haven't sharpened it or anything. They work better on a little bit. When you first get them, they're a little They just need to be used. Here, we'll get it going a little bit here. There, that should do it. So I'm going to score this first. So this will be on the line between the Tuesday. I should have left that out. So we're going to score this. So I'm just going to use my line that I drew on here, which is basically the 12, because I can line it up on both sides and make sure I get right on that line. At least that's the way it should work. Let's see if I can do it. Hopefully this will go together well and work for the center signature. Sometimes when you fold things and you put them together, they don't always work perfectly, but I think I can get it to work. So I think I'm just gonna debating on where this goes. It goes further this way, right? Yeah. So right there. Oh, you have to use the page because I can't vision it. Can't visualize it. So this is my page, which I really should have scored it. So this is gonna go just barely, and then about an inch on each side. Well, 3/4. It looks like a half. It doesn't look like 3/4. I think it's a half. It's okay. It's enough. Does not matter. And then this is going to go, so that's the halfway mark. So the Tuesday has to go on the halfway mark. So right here. Make sure it's leaving me enough room. Yeah. All right, I think that's right. So I want to score. Does that look straight? It's pretty straight. So I'm going to score here on this paper. Still not writing good. What is up with you, chalk pencil? Never had one do this. Just trying to find rough things to draw with. I know it's probably because it's new. Got some sort of waxy coating on you or something. I'm going to use my other one until I can sharpen that. Okay, it's the paper. It is not the pencil, it's the paper. It does not like that paper. Interesting. All right, so that goes there, and then this one will go here. Hopefully it's somewhat centered. So I've got to score there, I've got to score here, and there. Okay, so let's score this one. I'm just going to put it against the 12 this time because I don't know if I'm straight or not. Goes like that. This will go like this. This is where the pocket's going to go, so I want it to ideally, you know, match up well so that it sews in good. So I got to glue it on with it, maybe fold it. I think it because it's just one sheet, I shouldn't have too much an issue. The issue tends to be because when it's in this, when it's here, this card, and when it's here. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you are watching, you have this much room right now, flat, but then as I lift it up, there's only like not even a 16th, but just a fraction less room. So sometimes it doesn't want to stay together. So I'm debating on how I'm going to attach that. I think it's going to be okay to just glue it, but because it's only going to be glued on the two, well, I could glue it down the middle too. I probably will, just because I think it'll stay better. This side won't be glued, and this side needs, I think, a notch. So let's notch this side and ink it, because that's where we're going to put our little tuck-ins. So we're going to try to get that somewhere in the center, approximately. There. And then let's go ahead and just ink it. I don't know if it'll show. I'm going to use the scorched timber. It may or may not show on this. But it might show a little. Yeah, it shows a little. At least for me. You guys probably can't see it. I'll try to show you. Can you tell? Sometimes it shows it better for me in person. It just gives it a little more finished look when you do ink it. Especially when you're doing it a vintage style or even a grunge style. I think it really makes a big difference. Plus it takes away the white edge, because it's a white core paper. Just takes that white edge away. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and ink this. Should I? So I don't have any of the rest of the journal inked, I don't think, on the outside. I don't know that it matters. I'm gonna ink it. I think it'll look better. This is some heavy duty craft paper. Be careful, I'll destroy my little dauber. I have more of them, but the sharper papers, you know, the heavy duty ones, sometimes will really do a number on your little daubers. All right, so this way. All right, let's go ahead and glue this on here and hope for the best. So I'm going to glue it definitely on the base, as I don't want that moving for sewing it in. I'm just trying to make sure it's really in the center and nicely seated. Try not to move that any. Grab my glue. I'm just going to put a little thin bead. I'm not going to put it right on the center, just next to it. Hopefully this will work. And do I put it on the edges? Totally, I guess. I hope it works. I'm not sure how well it's going to move. If it feels like it's not going to move, I'll have to figure out something else. But so I'm going to fold this down, so hopefully it doesn't move on me. And then I'll see how that is going to fold out. Let's see. All right, it feels okay. It's like I said, as long as it's not more than 2 pages, I would not try to do more than 2. So as long as I am in the right spot on this side, the other side will work. That's the question. There's no pocket on this side. So technically I could glue the whole thing. I might glue it. I'm trying to decide if it's better to glue it in the flat position or the up. I'm going to see how much it moves when I do this. I have to look from this angle, sorry. Just a tiny bit. We're going to try, I'm going to just try to glue the whole thing down. Because there's no pocket on this side, I decided I didn't need one. I think they can both go on this side just fine. And I think it'll just secure better if I don't. So I'm just going to glue this whole piece. Not too bad. It probably won't open more than that anyway. So you can see I get some resistance right here. Oh, not here. I'll try to show you this way. So it wants to resist me because this wants to move. Because there's just a little bit of difference between here and here. I don't know how to explain it. So because I know that I'm going to have a bunch in this journal and it's not going to probably lay any flatter than this anyway, it'll be fine. So I think we'll be okay. That's the problem. It's very hard to get it to fold flat because what happens is it wants to come up. Let me see if I can show you right here. Can you see where it's opening? So here, I don't know why I'm trying so hard to explain it, but light. There be light. All right, light. Get in the right spot. Okay, so you see how it's closed up here? Watch what happens as I open. Do you see it separate? I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to look with my glasses to see. But see how it's separating right there? Right there. That's because it's just difficult to seat it in this notch perfectly. So that's why you get this little bit of resistance there, because it can't quite flatten out. And that's fine. As long as it works that much, I'm good with it. It'll be fine for inside here. So now we got to do this one. It's the same way. And it'll resist a little too, but hopefully not too much. Try to get it seated in there very nicely, as much as I can. This one I'm going to glue solid. Because my pocket is here. So this one's a solid glue. So I gotta just make sure it's seated as good as I can get it into that notch. So I'm just pushing really well. Because the more it's seated in there, the better it'll work. So I'm gonna glue this on solid. Hopefully it won't resist too much. I'm trying to hold it and not let it move. It's a little bit crooked there. It's okay, I'm not going to move it because I don't want to risk it. Alright, glue that down. Alright, and then we'll do the same thing over here. I'm gluing it when it's flat, not when it's open. If I glued it when it was open, I'd have a bigger gap. All right, so glue it flat. Okay, and then how much can we open? That's not too bad. Okay, I think we'll be okay. Now this will have sewing to sew it in. It's going to have the threads through here, because this whole page will be sewed in as our center. It'll open to about there, and that's good. That's okay. I think it'll be all right. And if it separates a little bit here, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to try to force it to glue there. I'm just going to leave it. As long as it's attached here and here, we'll be okay. All the pages do that. You just don't usually notice too much because, you know, there's so much stuff in there. So that'll be that. And then this is going to go in here. knock everything down. So I'm going to put these in here and make sure I got enough room. I think I do for both of them. Okay, so both of those will fit in there. Make sure you can get them in and out okay. A little bit snug, but I can loosen that just a tiny bit. I could have gone a little, where's my narrower? That bone folder's fat. This one's a little bit skinnier. Oh, I can't get in there. There. I'm just opening it just a tiny bit. Only because I have two. If I only had one, it wouldn't be so bad. Just a little bit open. And I don't think I'm gonna put tabs. They're pretty easy to grab. I think they'll be okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just want them to just kind of sit, so they're just showing there. So that'll be good. All right, so that works like that. Now we gotta put our vellum here. Probably just leave those there. So for the vellum, I don't know if I want to use art glitter. I think I'm gonna use double-sided tape. I'm trying to put some weight on here so it's not moving on me. And yeah, I think I'll do double-sided tape. I could do either, don't use art glitter on vellum, it tends to warp too much. But you could use Fabri-Tac or double stick tape. And I think double stick tape will work for this. So I'm just going to put some double stick tape on this. I ordered some more because I'm out of my 1/4 inch. I'm debating if the 1/8 will be okay or if I want to use this Dollar Tree one. I think I'll just use the Dollar Tree one. So make sure I'm on the right side, not where the notch is. Probably could just do the edges. I might go ahead and put one down the middle though. No, I want one here. Oh, but that's probably more than enough, honestly. Just make sure it's bumpy because I embossed it. On there good. All right. If I can get little thingies up. Get this on here somewhere. I want that there. Straight. They stick out a little at the top, so I'm going to try to do it even with the bottom. And this edge. Trying to get a little bit of the red show between there. I can do it. Okay, and then our little numbers. These can you can just put glue on them and stick them, or like I said, whatever you want to do with them. But I figured I'd include them with this, like that. So it's just a little planner area. I think it's cute. That works out nicely. So it'll open, it opens pretty good. It'll open almost all the way. It's only about maybe a ½ an inch up, which isn't too bad. So got our little planners, little calendar, weekly planner, and plenty of room on the back. You could write on this. I'll show you how you write on it. So you can write on it with either a vis-a-vis type marker, so a dry erase marker. Should I test it? I'm afraid. I'm gonna just make sure, but it should work. Before I go writing on it, let me grab a piece of transparency film. I know I've done it in the past, but honestly, I worry about things. All right, so transparency film. I know the Sharpie will work for sure. I wasn't sure about the vis-a-vis. So vis-a-vis. I call it vis-a-vis because usually there's a brand called that, and so I've always called them that. So you write on, and then I think this is a dry erase. So you can dry erase, which is wet erase. I'd say wet erase is a little bit better. So water will take the vis-a-vis off just fine. Okay, and then the Sharpie. So if you write with the Sharpie, and then let it dry before you go trying to close it or anything, because you know Sharpie takes a second to dry. And then if you wanted to erase that, you need to use a pad, your typical first aid type, and just wipe it off like that. Okay, and then I would just give it a little dry and completely clean. Okay, so 2 methods of writing on that. Whichever one you want to do will work just fine. Try. Okay. So there's that. I think it's cute. Hopefully y'all like it. So that was pretty quick. It only took me 45 minutes. So we will do another project. I could do the one and the other one, but literally it's going to be exactly the same, and I'm not going to waste y'all's time. So I'll do the other one off camera and just show you when I get back. If it's not really even necessary because it's literally the same set, so no differences. And I'm pretty sure I have more of this paper too. But maybe I should check. I think I do. I think I do. Let's see. Do I? If not, I've got other poinsettia papers. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I still have more of that paper. All right, so let's do, I'm going to do this house. So I think I have everything I need for it. I've got an hour, hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, I think I can. So anyway, this will be done. Put this back in its book. Ugh. I don't know where I'm going to put the house. I'll figure it out. So that goes there, that goes there. And I am going to put that in the center. So this one with that, has to stay in the center because it will open the best in the center. So I want to make sure that stays in the center. Okay, so I was watching videos and I came across Lilian Guerrero, and I watch her sometimes, and she has this little signature little house thing she does. They're called Little House Envelope Pockets. Lilian with 1 L, Guerrero. And they're just little pockets that look like houses. And I've done, Treasure Books did one that's similar to hers. and I don't know who did them first. I mean, there's other people I'm sure that have done the little houses. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that in here because I had a door and some other things that I was thinking, you know, that might work. So we'll try it. I think I've got everything I need. I'll show you the other one I was talking about with, I think it was treasure books. Because I've seen little houses in different places, yeah. So this one here is one I've done before. It's a similar, it's 49 dragonflies. So Barbara with 49 dragonflies. She did this one. And it's a kind of similar thing, but this one is just using scrapbook papers. And the one that Lilian's doing is using a junk mail envelope or a number 10 envelope. That's just a normal sized bill envelope, you know. And I have lots of junk mail envelopes, so we're going to try it. So I've tried to get all the stuff together. I think I've got it all together. I think I can do it. Okay. I say that because, you know, I haven't made one yet. And I don't know how long it will take me. But we will just try. So I got to find a good place for it. So it's going to take up, let me find the envelope. So what you want is some sort of envelope. Now you can use just your plain number 10 type envelope, okay? Which is this type that you use for bills. That works fine too. So that one's, I think these are like 4 inches. They tend to be slightly wider than my bill envelopes. Yeah, it's like 4 1/16. You can use that, and what happens is it gets folded down to look like a little house. All right. So what I want to do is use one of these junk mail ones because I was thinking I want a window. So I've cut out a whole bunch of pictures, printed, not cut out, but, well, kind of cut out. Printed some pictures and grabbed a couple of junk mail envelopes that I had on hand. So this one has a very thin window, so it will be, you know, kind of like this. And I'm just going to make the window sized. So there's that. And then I had this one, just a little bit wider window, which I think is what I want to go with. These are some sort of bill that had, you know, a return envelope inside them. I don't know what. I can't remember. But I had 2 of them, so we're going to use one of these for this one, then one for the other one. I'm going to go with this one. And then I had these were from, these pictures are some kind of vintagey Santas. They're from Louisa Heinzel, her Etsy digital. Do I have it written here next to me? Probably not. I think it's called Santa Strips. I'll put the link on my Etsy description, but I think it's called Santa Strips. And they had all kinds of just cool Santa pics. So that had that one, and then I also had this fireplace one I've used for several years. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, so we'll play with them and see what works best. The fireplace one, I'm trying to see if I have it in front of me. I don't see the name. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It's probably called like Vintage Fireplaces or something. But I'll put the link in my thing so that y'all know. Like I said, I wasn't really planning to do this, so I don't have it all written down in front of me. So I printed out a couple different sizes of that with lots of room so that I can glue it in here, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. That's why these are printed in the middle like this, because of spacing it onto this envelope. So I have those, and then I also have a digital from the Graphics Fairy, and the Graphics Fairy released this one. I think I've had it for a year or 2, but it's in their, you know how they do the freebie ones weekly or whatever. You can sign up for that It might even just be on their site. I don't remember. But it's one of theirs because I had written on one of them that it was Graphics Fairy. So I had this little door and I was like, the door's adorable. So I cut some doors out. Some of them I left the little lantern thingy. Some of them I didn't. I'm going to play with them, see what they work, what works best. And then some of these I have like just the window part cut out. I did a bunch of fussy cutting ahead of time. This is like a snow thing, some windows, and just pieces. And then I have a few of the Tim Holtz dolls, paper dolls, and I thought I might use some of these. These are the mini ones. They're very, very small. But I tried to find a few with winter clothes on, which is challenging. I didn't have that many with winter clothes because the Christmas set that I have is the big dolls. So I don't have any. But I found a few, so I can play with those. And I think that's just scrap. I don't know what that's doing in there. Doesn't really go with this. So that's my collection of stuff. And we're going to try to make a little house. And I got to cover it with some papers. I think I have enough papers printed out. I'm probably going to use some of these vintage ones, maybe. Or one of the scrapbook. The paper that works best is not a cardstock for most of it because of the folding. So I got to figure out what page I think this will go on best. I probably want it to be on a page I can put, because you can journal on the back of it. So I hadn't planned on attaching it. I don't know. I haven't decided for sure. So I need like a good cardstock page, probably in a color that will work well with whatever I decide for the base of my house. So let me look at my colors here. Oh, and I had some more Santas. That's what it was. I had these other Santas. These are also Louisa Heinzel. So there's a few standing Santas with trees. I might use one of those. And then this one had a few that I thought could possibly go in the window. I haven't quite decided, so we'll play with it. See what looks best. Let's find a background paper that will look good with this little house door, because I know I'm using this door for sure. I think I want the little top on there. I also have some cut without the little top, so it'll either be top or not top. I don't know which. And then let's look at my background papers. Where'd you put them? Are they in this pile? And I think I'm going to use those stickers. Well, some of the stickers. Not all of them. Oh, that's not where my papers are. They must be over here. It's transparency out of my way. Don't spend too much time looking for stuff. So these are my stickers. Just throw that on the floor. Okay, so we have this color. I'm trying to see if there's any stickers in here I might use. I'm not sure. We'll see. But we'll try to stick with this kind of color scheme, the reds and the browns and vintagey looking. So I've got these vintage papers that I printed on just normal paper. Like I said, I don't want it too thick. It won't fold as well. So I've got these. Okay, so these. And then one of those pads probably has a thinner paper. What else do you have? I'm digging, guys. Digging through my stuff. I'm just trying to find thinner papers. Let's see. I think these are all cardstock. Pretty sure these are all cardstock. Let me see. Definitely cardstock. Definitely cardstock. Yep. They don't say on the front. It's like you just have to like grab them and look at them. I'm pretty sure they are all cardstock though. Yeah. So the only one that I have that isn't cardstock is probably the ones I've printed and the ones that are in that larger paper pad. I feel like I had a larger paper pad. Nope, that's craft paper. Oh, I have lots of cardstock, guys. I have this. That's trees. I don't think I want trees. I know I'm off camera, guys. Just listen to me talk, because I don't know what to do about that. A lot of trees. Don't need trees. All right, we'll make it work with those vintage ones I printed. But that's okay. So, let's see. So if I do this, and we go ahead and look at the shape. I think I'm going to fold it. Let's see. About there. I'm debating on the height. I think about there. So what would look good behind the door? So if I do the door and it's about there, come down to about here, can I get this in there? Does it have to show, or can it just show after it's opened? This is technically the roof, so it might not work with that unless I make it a little bit shorter roof. And I like it longer. It just looks better longer. So I think I'll go with the door without the little top. So the door will be here. This will be a window. I'm going to put paper over it. So I could do this color behind. And I'll probably collage it so it'll be different colors, but I want to see what looks good behind the door. The brown's not too bad. And what will be good for a roof? You know what's better for the roof and what's better for the walls. Maybe the roof should be sideways stripes like that. Polka dot stripes. I've got this red stuff. The red's not terrible behind the red door. Got the green. I don't know. I'm torn between either the polka dot or the... Do it this way. I do this. I like them all. I like them all. Polka dot or green, more colorful. Oh, I'll cut my reef upside down. Put your reef at the top. Not that it matters until I glue it. And then I've got this green. I might do this. I think I like the stripes for the roof. So the stripes for the roof, and then either one of these three for the house base. It kind of looks, it looks best on the green. So maybe the green, and then we'll play with other colors too, I think. But let's start with these two, see how this looks. So I haven't really done one of these, so I have no idea. I'm just gonna go for it. And then I'll figure out, maybe I'll figure out where to put it after I make it. It might be the best way to do it. Because I have plenty of blank pages at this point that we should be able to find a place for it. If I didn't have a lot left, I'd worry more about it, but I have a decent amount of pages left, so we'll figure that out later. So for right now, let's just make it. What time is it? I'm losing too much time talking. All right, get this out of the way. All right, and and start covering. So step one is figure out the size of your envelope. And then what you're going to want to do is, this is going to get glued down. And then the back is going to be journaling space. So I'll cover that with something that's journal friendly. Maybe the polka dot one. So the window for mine, because it has a window, you don't have to have a window, but I just thought that would be fun. So because I'm doing a window, I have to put my paper in there first, because if I go ahead and I glue this closed, it'll be harder to get it in there. You can just kind of slide it down in there and not glue it, and it'll probably be fine, but I'd rather attach it. So I'm going to decide what I want in here. So either I can have this isn't really going to work perfectly, but we're going to try so I can show you. So I can either do a Santa and a tree on the inside. I think I can show you with one of these. Or I can do just a tree. Or I can do a fireplace. The fireplace is the biggest thing I have, so I'm not sure how well it will show. These are my smallest printouts for the fireplace. I printed so many sizes, guys, because I kept printing it the wrong size. So I had to keep going back and forth. This is a smaller fireplace. That one. I thought I had two. Maybe. Is it this one? Yeah, these two are the smaller ones. All right, so if I did the fireplace, I'll try to show you how it's going to show. So I could have either I didn't want to cut these out until I knew glue on the whole thing. So I can either have the tree show through, like something like this. And it's just going to show through the window a little bit, because I'm going to make this more window-like, not a whole long one. How can I show you? I'm going to cover it with something, you know. It'll be a little more window sized. So that tree would show through something like that. Or I could have the fireplace show through. If I have the fireplace show through, see, it's really big. I couldn't really get it small enough. I think the fireplace is just too big. It's a cute idea, but I think it's just too big. Yeah. So I don't like the idea of the fireplace. So maybe the tree or one of these. So these have different trees and Santas. I'm not crazy about this Santa, but I do like the tree. So this tree, I want to fold it further. Try not to crease them too much, because I don't know where I'm going to crease them. You know what? I made a window. What did I do with it? Hold on. Where'd you put it? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. I think it's in here. There it is. I was a little better planned. So I just traced this to get an idea of where the window would be, so I didn't have to keep putting it in and out of there. So that's what I did that for. So this would be like this. So something like this and this. So the tree showing through. And then if I did the tree showing through, I could either have a Santa on the front I don't have one fussy cut yet. Here we can kind of halfway fussy cut one. I wasn't going to do it until I knew which one I wanted. So a Santa on the front. All right, this is going to be a really, really, really loose fussy cut. Okay, Santa on the front by the door. Okay, I could have Santa there. And then on the inside, I could have my kids. Where'd my kids go? Kids, where are you? All right, I'm just going to pick one for now. Come here. I think she's too big. I was going to use her, but I think she's too big. So I'll go with one of the kids with a stuffed animal or something. So I'm not going to put it in there. Here, I can put it right here. So I have a kid in the window in front of the tree. You know, maybe something like that. Peeking through. Can you see that? Let me see. Let me zoom a little bit. Can I move it? Move it over. Alright, so kid in the window on the inside, or if I didn't do the kid on the window on the inside and Santa on the outside, I think I've got a little bit bigger Santas too. I could do kid on the outside of the door. I've got some with winter coats. Let me see. Here's the little boy with a winter coat. Kid on the outside. He's tall. He's very tall. What else we got? Here, this little girl's not as tall. On the outside. And then I had a Santa tree combo. Let me find it. Santa tree combo. Which one do I like? Maybe this one. And then Santa tree combo on the window. On the inside. So, do we want Santa at the door? So this is the question I need. Do we want Santa at the door or Santa waiting inside? Kids inside, kids at the door. I think it probably makes more sense to have Santa at the door, maybe, and the kids inside with the tree. I'm trying to see what kind of kids I have. So, what do y'all think? Anybody gonna answer me? Maybe? Or you guys gonna make me make my own decision? Trying to find another tree. This is a cute tree. It's a little bit smaller than that one. Get over there. So, a tree. And then the kids in front of the tree. It could be this kid or another kid. Doesn't really matter. So, kids in front of the tree. Kids in front of the tree. She's got a little teddy bear. This kid. One of the kids in front of the tree. What do you think? Anybody say anything? Nope, nobody's saying anything. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and fussy cut a Santa. So I think I'll use one of the trees on the inside. As I don't think Santa on the inside makes as much sense. So we need to fussy cut a Santa. I'm not sure if this one's big enough. He's a little short. He's okay for inside, but not so much for outside. Alright, let's see. We got a little taller Santa here somewhere. It has to be a full one, so. This one's holding a little bag. That's a little bit taller, isn't it? It's actually not that much taller. Alright, so that's a Santa. Where's the other Santas? Any full one's on here. There's this one. Let's see how big this one is. They're all about the same height. He's a little bit chubbier. He's not a very tall Santa. Either that or the door is really tall. My proportions are slightly off. Let's see, what other Santa? We got this Santa. Is he taller? He's a little bit taller. I don't think we're going to use this tree on the inside, so I'll just go ahead and cut it. And I can print any of these over, as I have the digital. I just loosely did that for size. Yeah, I feel like his size is better for the outside. I like this one, but I feel like that size might be better. I don't know, maybe I'll try them both. I tried to pick ones that were not horribly difficult to fussy cut, because nobody likes fussy cutting. I don't know, maybe some people like fussy cutting. I don't particularly. So I'm trying to pick ones that are relatively simple. Can't quite see his boot there. So something like that. So that one there. See, he looks kind of short. It's a 5-foot Santa. I don't know how tall Santa is. Maybe Santa's only 5 foot. I don't know. I should have printed this one on cardstock though. That's alright. It doesn't have to be on cardstock. If I have to, I guess I could back it. Sorry, bear with me. I know fussy cutting is boring to watch, but it's the only way for me to tell how it's going to look. Can't see the boot there. All right, paper, cooperate. Boot. I feel like that's a more believable size. All right, so that one, I don't think I have that on cardstock, so I will double check, but I don't think I do. Nope. All right, that's fine. We don't have to have it on cardstock. So, Santa on the outside with the door, kids on the inside with this tree. I think this is a good tree. And I'm going to try to make some sort of a window frame. Debating on if I want the bigger tree or the smaller tree. I might do the bigger tree. So I wanted the window. Where does this fold down to? Here. This is just a scrap piece of paper. So the tree star will show still. So if I put that there, kind of sort of, I'm trying to move it off to one side so I can put the kid. So put that there. Where'd my kids go? No, I lost my kids. Kids. Are they in the box? They're probably in the box. All right, where's the one with the little doll or something? She's got a little doll. All right, if I put her in there, I think that tree is a good size for her, and then he'll be on the outside like so. Yeah, feasible. Feasible. I had that other one with the doll somewhere floating around here. I don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. All right, I think I like that tree. I like the blue background too. It looks good. So we'll do that tree. I'm trying to see if I can find that doll. It might be in the box. I just don't see it. I don't know if I have any more of that green paper. All right, so all right. That's another lamp. I might put it off to the side or something. I cut out a few of the little lamps. I just fussy cut a few, so I might use one off to the side. And then I cut these little windows because I was thinking these were on the side of the door. I was thinking I could use them on the other window to make it smaller, but I don't want to lose the tree, so I think I want it fairly big. I just don't want it quite that long. If I do want the roof to be, so this will have some sort of paper there, and then maybe this. So here, let's just throw this in here. I'm trying to get an idea before I start gluing this all together. What time is it? Ooh, we're gonna run out of time. All right, polka dots, and then some sort of a frame for the window. Possibly this. Just stay there for a second. And then I've also got, like, this is like a snowy bank thing for the stairs. I was thinking I might put that under there. I'll cut it the size of the drawer. Maybe. It's not absolutely necessary, but we'll see. And then windows. I have more windows. So somewhere on the bottom, move her up a little. Stay. Make the bottom of the window maybe about there. I just want it to look like a window, and right now it's so long it doesn't quite look like a window. If I do the smaller tree, will it show better in the window? I think that's the same tree. Yeah. I think so. Bigger tree, smaller tree. I have to glue this in place still, but if I do the smaller one, I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it a smaller window and still make sense, you know? Think about there, and then about there, about maybe there. All right, maybe the smaller tree makes sense. Okay, we'll do the smaller one. All right, so let's get the tree in there. I'm gonna put you back in here so I don't lose you. Put you back in here. This is our Santa. We'll put him in there. I'll figure out the windows after. This is trash. Okay, so we gotta get this in our... I wish it was this one. I like this one better. I could just move it down. I'm going to use this one only because the color is just better, and I I'm just going to use it. All right, it'll be fine. I printed it on white paper, and it shows up better on the coffee than the coffee dyed. All right, so my envelope. It's a lot. That's why I was like, can I get this done? I don't know. Am I zoomed again? I'm zoomed here. Let me unzoom. Zoom, unzoom. Okay. So first I got to fit the tree so that it shows through the window, but that it also, I need to slice off this end. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'll do it before I seal it because I don't want to seal it yet. Where's my scissors? So I'm just going to take off the very end for the pocket. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Typically you already have your envelope closed at this point. This will end up being over like that. And then you cut about a ½ inch in. Here, I probably should draw a line because I'll never get it. I'll just use our grid. So we're going to go about a ½ inch. I'm just going to make a light pencil mark. And what you want to do is just cut. So normally this would be closed, but since we haven't sealed it yet, I'm just going to do it. So just to that pencil mark, which is a ½ inch below our fold. The same thing on this side. Trying to stay right on that edge. Okay. And then you want to fold. Oops, I didn't go far enough. You want to fold to that mark. If I can get it to cut in the right spot. Alright, fold to the mark. Make sure I'm at the mark. I'll show you why in a minute. That's it straight. That's pretty straight. So what's going to happen is this piece will go away. Okay, that will go away. This will become our flap down for our roof. And this gets folded over, which I need to glue it all together. All right, but I got to get that in there. I just wanted to see about where that's going to hit. So this, it's marks here. I'm being too confusing. I don't know why. Let's just get the tree in there because that's what's confusing everybody. Tree. So the tree, I'm going to use my little cheat sheet to figure out where to cut it. So I want it to show just above, just right where that is. But I want room for the kid in there, so I might make the star a little off center. So I think about there should work. So I'm just going to draw a line here. And I just need to cut it to fit inside the envelope. All right, should work. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're just going to glue it to the back. So that's going to go in there. Just make sure it fits in there. And remember, I'm going to, sorry, I can't tell where my star is. Okay, why am I so further down? That is way further down than this. What? Oh, it's just longer. But it's not longer. But it is longer. What? I'm so confused. I have no idea what I am looking at, guys. That's where I want my roof. Look at this. I should have just glued it. I can't figure out why it's folding further down than the other one. So I want my tree to show. I could just cut it off, but it doesn't have to be solid. You're going to cover it anyway. But I don't know why this is so different. What did I do different? I did something different. Oh, okay. Huh. It is folded in a different spot. Alright, I'm just going to change my fold. No, I can't change my fold because I already have the cut. I'll just trim it. It's fine, I'll trim it. Not too much though, because I don't want the roof to be... I'm just going to drop it down a little more. Maybe about here. So I can get closer. Okay, that'll be closer. Alright, so we're going to put the tree there. So all I want to do is get this tree in. And I wanted the piece to just stop where my fold is, so I didn't have to deal with that back paper, and I'm going to cover that with something else. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit of this. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it is a tuck, so I don't want it to snag too bad, ideally. All right, let's see if we can get this in here. So what I'm going to do is just glue a little teeny bit on the edge here to get it in there, and then I'll add some glue. It doesn't have to have a lot of glue. So I'll put a little bit there. And try and, I gotta figure out where it's hidden. Okay. So I'm gonna try seating it in here. So I'm just squishing it in there to the corner. Make sure it's straight before I push too much. Dark glitter won't give me a lot of time, but it gives me enough time. Alright, so we'll glue that down. Alright, we got our tree in there. So this is our fold. My envelope's kind of weird. So now I can put a colored paper here. Well, actually I don't need to, because I'm going to cover that with something pretty anyway on the outside. So I shouldn't need to, because I want that window shorter. Yeah, I shouldn't need to do anything to it. Okay, it should be fine. Although I might want it just for the pocket's sake. So yes, for the pocket's sake, I'm going to put a little more. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue this together. It's got some glue there, but I'm not going to lick that thing because that's just gross. I don't know why it's gross. To me, it's gross. So we're just going to glue this. I don't want to get too much. I don't want it inside my pocket, so I'm going to go there because I can't tell where that's hitting. I don't think it's hitting there, but it might be. So we'll go on this side. And that should be sufficient. Yeah. Okay, and then this is going to get cut off anyway, so... Well, no, not that piece. This piece won't get cut off. Well, it could get cut off, but it's not. I'll glue this on, and I'll just glue this side. Try not to close up my pocket. Alright, so this goes away, so our little tabby thing goes away. Don't cut the back. Okay, and then this becomes just a little bit of a reinforcement. And I like to fold mine in. Lilian folded hers on the outside, but you can fold them on the inside. You just have to miter it a little tiny bit. So just give it a little miter. And then I'm going to fold it in. And it should cover that paper. So I don't want it to touch that paper because it's on the outside. So I'm going to glue that down because I didn't quite get it glued down. Hold on. I don't know if you can tell what I'm talking about. The tree needs to be glued up here. I'm just going to run just a little bit of glue there, just to hold it in place. All right, so now we've got our, this will be our pocket, but this edge I want reinforced. That's why this little piece, just to reinforce it. And you can glue it on the outside because you're going to cover it anyway. But I think it leaves a bump, and I don't like the bump. So I'm going to, sorry, I'm off camera, but I'm just putting glue on this little piece there. And I'm just going to tuck it in. Okay, so just tuck it in like that. Now it's nice and smooth. And then this is our roof. It folds over like this. And just make sure it looks somewhat clean cut. You're going to cover it, but I got a little bump there. So that's going to go like that. And I think I'm going to trim it just a little bit. I think it's, for whatever reason, I'm too long. So I'm just going to fold it and trim it. It's got a weird bump there anyway. I think I want it. Is that too far? I'm going to have paper there, so not really. That'll be all right. So about there. It's going to be my roof. Actually, I could fold that over. No, it's going to have paper. I don't need it. I am going to get rid of this, though. I don't need all that bulk. All right. I'm just double checking my size, guys. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I could go a little bit longer. Maybe just a fraction longer. Here, I'm just going to cut it because it's too hard to do it that way. So let me just throw it on here. I'm just going to trim it. It's hard to see where I'm trimming. I really need the ruler on the other side. That's okay. I can get it work. I've made this so much more complicated than it should be. Go watch Lilian. She's been doing them for like 10 years, she said, so hers aren't as complicated. First time, you know, I'm showing you guys reality of it. The first time you make things, it's not necessarily that simple. All right, that's better. I like that size. Okay, so we got our roof, we got our inside thing, and we have our little pocket. Okay, so now we got to cover all this. I'm going to put this on for the roof. So I'm going to probably ink, so I'm going to do it just inside the line there. Not much, just a tiny bit. And it can come over the back, but it doesn't have to come over the back too much because I'm going to put a different paper on the back for writing. So I'm going to come over like an inch. So maybe to there. So this will be my roof, I think. Should I put it here? That's a good question. I should. Or I could do a different color for the inside of the roof. I've got the harlequin for here. I've got the stripes for there. I've got this color. If I put that on the inside. Maybe. Or maybe I'll use this for the windowsill because it's got this little effect here. Maybe I should do that for around the window. I might like this better for the front of the house than the harlequin, but I don't want to, I didn't want so much brown. I think I'm going to put this for the window. Where's my door? Door. Put the harlequin there. I don't know if it makes sense or not. I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to put this over this part. I think I'm going to keep this. Maybe I should start there with all the little bumpity bumps. Yeah, let's do that. Let me cut that off. This is complicated. There's just a lot to think about. So I want this shape, I think, for over my window. Maybe under too. We'll see. So for over, I want this here, just above the tree. Hopefully where the roof ends. So I want it to be kind of at the same point. So I'm just going to draw a line. A really faint line. Well, I guess I'm going to cover it anyway. I'll just draw a line. So I want that. I don't want to go past that because I don't want it showing. I don't think. So I'm going to go there. And then here. And then I'm just going to go flip on the inside just a little bit. So about here. Let's try that. I'll just cut this piece. And then this piece. And you could collage this any old way, really. I'm going to run out of time. All right, that's going to go there. And it's going to fold over. I just need a mark for my fold. Right there. Can I do that by hand? Sure I can. It's thin paper. Okay, so this is going to go here. I might have to miter it. Just a little bit of a miter. Because I'm tucking it inside. It's just easier. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Get over there. And then stripies are going to go, I think I'm going to do this whole piece and then wrap around. So I'm going to do from just slightly inside, so we'll say about this much inside. And then around, and then I got to make a mark because I can't. And the roof will be here. The roof will be there, and then around the back just a little bit, so we'll say here. I could go the whole, I guess you could write on that pretty easily. It's stripy. It won't be as easy to write on as the dots, but not bad. You know what, I'll just go the whole distance. I'm just going to go all the way. Do I have room? I think I do. Let me see. Going to go all the way to the bottom? Almost. All right, it doesn't quite go, so we'll do the dots. All right, so I'm going to cut it there. Oh, I'm just going to double check myself. So here to here, around the back. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Cutter. I'll do the width first. Is it straight? I have a mark there and a mark here. I don't know which one's which. I think it's this piece. I'm not sure. You want it to fit just inside there. Oh, so close. So close. I know I'm never going to cut that with the thing, so I only need a teeny bit off. All right, now will it go in there? Yes. Okay, so that goes like that. hopefully the other direction. No, not the other direction. I don't know what's up with that mark, because that mark is wrong. It's okay. It must be this way. I think that's the deal. Sorry, I know I'm fighting everything. Make sure over that house, yeah. Okay, so that goes there. It's going to fold here. Is that enough room to glue? Probably more than enough. Let's back it out just a little. Let's see how much that shows with the pocket. I'm going to go down to the house, I'm going to go down to the star, just in case it shows. I don't think it will, but I'll do it anyway. I have plenty on here. So. And then we're going to fold it here. I should be able to just do that. Try to get it somewhat straight. Kind of, sort of. I'm just going to ink the edges because there's no way I'm going to get it exact. I know me. It's not going to happen. You can also trim it a little. Alright, yeah, let's do that. And then I'll just trim whatever I need on the back. Because like I said, I think I'm going to put a different paper here. That's why this mark is here. So this can just come off there. So I don't need all that. We'll put the polka dots back there. Alright, let's start gluing. Glue this, glue that. We need our Harlequin paper. I'm trying to get them all cut before I start gluing. I think it'll be easier. I think. This way? Yeah, probably this way. So, this goes here. We can put the Harlequin underneath so that it doesn't show, I think. So just to the window there. I'm just going to piece this stuff in. I might use a different color, I don't know. I'm going to fold it around just so it's cleaner. Anywhere I can, I'm folding around just because I think it'll be cleaner. Okay. Alright, this is for behind our door. So that goes there. And then put this. Figure out which looks better. I'll probably put a window here or something so it's not going to matter too much. Put that or a different color. I think that, and then maybe we could do a different color for the window base, maybe. Where's my last color? Not stripes. I don't know. Can we use more of this for the window base? I'm going to come up just a little bit. Yeah, I think we'll use more of that for the window base. So I need this to be longer. This piece needs to be longer. Okay, how wide is that? It only needs to be a tiny little bit. Unless I fold it over, and I don't think well, I might. No, I'm not going to fold it over. It's too complicated. Right. This has got like a half. I should probably make it a half too, just so it is consistent. If I can get it in the half. Let's try. Kind of, sort of, half. Kind of, sort of. Alright, we're going to make this one come up a little bit higher. About here. And then I'll fold it. Oh my gosh, hold on to the paper. I'll fold that one over. It only needs needs to be 1/2 inch or so. So it looks like about half the other Harlequin. I'm just calling them Harlequins. I don't know what they are. Was it 3? Where's my other ruler? Oh my gosh, guys. This is taking too long. If I don't finish, I don't finish. We can finish next time. 1/2 inch. But I would think I might fold it over. It doesn't have to be. I'll just leave it. All right, we'll go about 1/2 inch. I'm trying not to have to trim it. It's that first little Harlequin there. Is it this? I bet it's this piece. I don't want to get the wrong piece. I think it is. Does that fit? No. No. My measurements are horrible. Try it again. Why? Oh, that's why. Okay. I should probably just trim it. Okay. I'm just going to come inside as much as I need to. All right, there. Let's see. Let's start gluing. My mess. All right. This one first. I think I want this one on top, so I'm not going to bother inking. Do I want to use a glue stick? It won't work as bad. It can be trickier. Double stick tape, I think, which I don't think I want to deal with. Glue stick, where are you hiding? You're here somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right, let's see. I hope I can do this, guys. I have no idea. All right, we're going to put the Harlequin on the inside. I'm going just slightly into that window. And then I'm going to fold it around. Put a little bit there. Okay. And then I'll do this side. Pick it up. I prefer my outside to be not over the edge. So I'm trying not to go over the edge on the outside. Fold that over. Okay. Ooh, messy, messy. And then this one, it's going to be a little tricky. I'm just going to use glue for the inside. Squish that down in there. I can get it in there, hopefully. Ah, so close. Close enough? Yeah, because I'm going to put a little edge. I'll put a window ledge or something there, so it'll be fine. And then, do I want to glue stick it? Sure. Mostly. I might put some regular glue too. Maybe just a little teeny bit right on this edge. I'm trying not to warp it too bad. And the art glitter. there's that, there's that. I need a piece here, which was cut somewhere. I lost it. Don't know. Gone. All right, we'll cut another one. We'll go with this one. So I think I want the window. Where's that door? Door. I want it lower, so there's my floor there. Yeah, I think that's a good height. Just gotta make the kid show, which I don't have the kid in there. I'll get her in there somehow. I don't know how, I forgot her. Oh my gosh. I'm doing good, guys. Where is my pencil? Pencil? Just a little mark so I can fold this. I think it'll be easier if I give it a little crease first. And then we don't really need all this in the back. Only a little bit, so we'll just go to about here. I gotta get the kid in there somehow. I mean, I could just have a tree, but I don't want to. I want the kid in there, so I'll get her in there. I think that'll be okay. Even if I go all the way across. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, so let's do that. Goodness gracious. I can't believe I forgot to put my kid. Y'all weren't even yelling at me. You didn't even yell at me to let me know I forgot the girl. What on earth? I don't think I can do that. I'll try to match this. Click back. All right, before I close that up too much, let's see if I can get her in there. What do you think? Think you can get her in there? I don't know. Where'd she go? I lost her. Let's find her. All right, little girl, where'd you go? Where are you? This one? I need that one. I have two of them. I have this one and that one. Trying to see if there's one that fits better than the other. She's smaller, but she shows up better. I was going to paint them. I didn't. Should I give her a red dress? Hold on. Where are my crayons? I think I know where they are. I might have to finish this later. Ooh. No. Hold on. My crayon decided to shed. Just get it wiped up before it's everywhere. Okay. I'm just going to color her dress. Usually I do this with plastic piece. Let me see if I can grab one. There's one. Alright. What's that red look like? It's not horrible. It's metallic. Do I have another red? It's my only red. Alright. Good enough. I need a paintbrush. water on my paintbrush. Not much, just a little. We're just going to paint her dress red and see what it looks like. Where's your hand? I'll leave her a little pouch. It's not too bad. I'm going to tap it in a second with something. Can't remember how I sealed these things. But we're just going to lighten it ever so slightly. That should work. Once it dries, it won't come off. The question is, can I get it in the window without it smearing? Maybe. I'm going to try to use the tweezers and get her in there. I'm just going to put a little drop of glue once I know where she goes. I think I can get it. I was supposed to put her first, but you know, me. And the only other thing I could do is just open it up and glue it back, but I'm not going to, if I can help it, try to get her in here. This is not the best way to do this. I will just say that up front. Definitely not the best way to do it. I'll put her about there. She's too tall. She needs to be really seated. That's better. Alright, so she's got to be all the way down almost. The question is, how am I going to get glue on her that will move? I don't know if I can do it or not, guys. I just don't know. I'm just going to put some on her feet first. I should open it, shouldn't I? I don't have long tweezers. I have locking tweezers. Probably a safer option. All right, locking tweezers it is. Okay, locking tweezers. So I don't have to try to squeeze it. And then we're going to try to sit her way down there. Right where I want her. Let go with the tweezers. Push her down. And we got to glue her enough that she doesn't snag on whatever we put in this pocket. That's the tricky part. Just getting the glue under there. You know what? I'm going to have to put the glue on first. Uh-oh. Hold on. I got to leave this open somehow. Bone folder. Just don't want that to close. Alright, I'm going to put the glue on the whole thing because otherwise I can't seat her. I hope it stays glued. And oh my gosh. I forgot what kind of tweezers I was using. They're so backwards, you have to really think about it as you're doing it. Alright, I think I can do it. The locking tweezers definitely help, for sure. Because you don't have to worry about, you know, concentrating on that part. I just have to keep it off the base until I get it where I want it. And then once I get it where I want it, I just kind of grab it and squeeze. Hope that we don't glue anything we're not supposed to glue. Next time, put the paper doll on before you close the envelope. And I knew it. I told myself that. Alright, I think that'll work. The question is, oops, I got glue on there. I'll wipe that off. The question is, clean my window, got dirty. Will it snag? That's right, I got glue on my window. It's not bad. I think it'll be okay. Let me see. Where's the card? Do I have a card? I just want to see if it's going to snag horribly. I didn't think about those paper dolls being thick. This is scrap. But scissors. Gosh, I am out of time, guys. We're going to have to continue this next time. Either that or I go way over. Alright, it doesn't seem to snag. Alright, good. So that's good. Okay, that's fine. Let's get this paper on. So this one's going to go there. Crayons out of the way. Oh, should I just keep going? I won't be able to decorate it fully, that's the problem. I'm worried I'm going to touch this crayon. Oh my gosh, I'm hot. My door is a little bit off. Closer. All right. Is this way? It's a tight fit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm snagging on. I don't want to miter it unless I absolutely have to. It should fit. Not too far down. Just there. Okay. Yeah. We have to do it this way. I might have to miter it just a little bit to get it started. Not much, just a tiny, tiny bit. It'll just help me get it in there. All right, and I'm gonna feed that down in there and hope my art glitter cooperates. Even if I just get it part of the way. So far, so good. All right, I'll do it right there. That'll seat that bottom piece, and then I'll just put glue in the rest. I have to think about, am I gluing to the right thing? I am. I wasn't going to use this glue. I was going to use glue stick, but that's okay. This is coffee dyed. It's a little thicker than the other one. I'm going to have to do a lot of inking. Because my paper cuts are horrible. I don't know how far this needs to go, but I'll just go the whole way. I can always cover it. So I think I was going to cover it with the polka dots. I'm trying to think when my alarms start going off. I think my Do Not Disturb is on until 11:30. So much of an edge there. Maybe I can cover it with a good idea. I'll just put a decorative side on there. It's a little, it's not super crooked. It's pretty straight. It's just my cutting. I'm trimming a little. Not much though. It's pretty straight. I just didn't get the paper wide enough. So that's good. That's good. Door, the right way. Where's Santa? No, where's Santa? Santa. There you are. You look okay. I have ink floating around here somewhere. In case I need it. He's got a little bit of a white edge, but not too bad. Okay, Santa goes there, and we'll see where the door fits for him. So I don't want him right in front of the door. And then I might put a step there. That's probably good. Do I need the window ledge first? I could probably avoid the door. All right, so the door needs to be about 1/4 of an inch from there. Should I do the snow bank? Let's see what it looks like. A little snow bank. It's like a kind of a step. Does it need it or not? I don't know. Maybe right at the base. Stay. I'm debating if it'll kind of sort of give that a place for him to stand. Maybe. It's not absolutely necessary. We're just going to put this on for now. I think it'll be all right. Some of this is cardstock, some of it's paper. The pieces I was going to fold, I tried to do in regular paper. The pieces that were going to be embellishment, I tried to do in cardstock. I didn't get that Santa in cardstock, unfortunately. I was going to, but it just did not seem to happen that way. So I said about 1/4 inch from that. And then I'll have to decide if I wanted to have this bank. I don't know if I like this bank or not. I'm debating. It's supposed to be like a step. Kitty cat's crying. I guess so. It's not that wide though. Boy, I can't cut today. I'll glue it on. I think it'll be all right. It just gives them a little something to stand on. I always like to do that. All right, so there's a step. Santa can go on the step. I feel like he needs raised, but I'm not going to raise him. All right. Try to get the glue right on him here, if I can. You guys just bear with me going over. If it gets too much late, I can't go past 11:30. That's my max. All right, I think put him right there. That looks good. And then we need some sort of embellishment for our window. So I had those little glass pieces that I thought would look fun on the window. Let's see how many I have. If they're the right size. There's one. There's one. There's one. So I was thinking I could surround this window. On each side. That should work. So I'll glue this one first. I only need like 3. Let me see if I can take this bottom one off. It's got some holly on there or something. Yeah, I can do that. So I'm gonna cut bottom square. Where's my holding scissors? Tweezers, not scissors, tweezers. My reverse tweezers. Sometimes they're easier. Sometimes I have a hard time with reverse tweezers because honestly my brain doesn't want to work that way. I'm going on the acetate a little bit purposely. And this one. I don't know if this looks good or not. You know? Go. And then the same thing on this side. Pick up. Okay, hon. Bye-bye. I'm sorry I'm going so late. I wanted to finish it, but I might not. I might not make it. Oops, that's the wrong direction, I think. I don't guess it matters. As long as it's approximately the same height. And this one. Trying to slide it. It ain't sliding. It's too long for some reason. I probably used the wrong piece. They all look about the same, but they're not quite. Want to go that way or do I want to go this way? Yeah, if y'all get tired anytime, always just come back and watch the replay. It will not hurt my feelings at all. I am a night owl, so I'm up all hours of the night, all the time. Not a big deal for me, but, you know, most people aren't up the hours that I am. All right, we need a base for our window. I know I have something in here. What do we got? Got this. This looks like a base. What do you think? Yeah. I'm not going to go quite that wide though. Go right to there. And maybe just a little off of this side. I'm going to have it hang over a tiny bit. I'm going to ink it though, so it looks like wood. I want to give it a little more depth. Inking should help. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so this one. I have like a little potted plant too, I think. I wonder if I can fit it. Okay, that works. And one for the top. This one maybe? Sure. I'll have to mark this because I can't tell. About there. These are just little pieces I cut off of the original this. There are pieces I didn't use, and I was like, you know what? I can always use them, but just not in the same way. And Lily's houses that she does are a little more whimsical than mine. Just because I'm going for a little more of a vintage look. At least trying to. Okay. So far so good. We just got to do something there. What can I do there? Maybe, do I have like a lace? Possibly do like a lace. I'm going to see how this looks first. Do it sideways. Maybe. I could do it sideways. I'm going to cut out a little piece and see what that looks like. I'm just going to cut this. What if I do just a tiny bit sideways? It's going to be trimmed. I really won't know until I just do it. Let's see if I can feel it. About here. I can trim it after, but I want to kind of get an idea if it's going to look right before I make that decision and start gluing. Too small. If I glue that there and there, and I glue another one here and here. Not ideal. Let me see. I'm gonna grab some lace. I have red. What do we have? Red. I'm sure I have some normal lace floating around here. A little one. I need a little one. Red stripes. I just want to cover that edge with something. But this might look good on the bottom. I don't know if it's too bright. What do you think? Is it too bright? I'm just going to cut it off for right now. Like that. I have this. Do maybe some of this on the edge, just to hide that little piece. And then this over. Maybe. It's either that or I ink it. I'm thinking maybe the lace. Could be cute. I can't decide if I want to do brain. My brain is not working. If I want to do the top too. Do that. And then do this. I don't know about the red. I have a different lace. Let me see. The red might be too much. I have a plaid. I kind of like the little tufts. I just don't know if it's too bright. So all my other colors are very muted. See, and that's too dark. So not that. I've got a bigger lace. This lace. Just that. I don't know if I want it on the sides. I can't decide, guys. I might just ink it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it on the sides. I'll get like a piece there. I think I want the scallopy one. This is just a little more scallopy. So let's do it on the sides. On the bottom, I mean. I'm going to do this here. It's where the scallops just barely hang over. And then I might just ink that spot. I'll figure it out. I mean, I could try just patching. Boy, that's the last of that. I could just try patching it, I guess. You know what? I'm just going to patch it because honestly, I think it'll be easier than trying to find something to put there. I think I can line it up. Maybe. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. It's really close. Pull. I got it. The back doesn't matter, I'm going to cover the back. All right, let me trim it. It's just easier just to do that and stop stressing about it. I'll do that on that side too. You can barely see it. Time is it? Ooh, I'm running out of time. Oops. Get in on there. Oops, I went over just a little bit. Come on. Gotcha. All right. Trim it from this side. Okay. There. Can barely tell. All right. That like here. Fabri-Tac probably be a better choice. How far up does it go? Goes up to just above the green stripe. Little bitty scallops hanging over just ever so slightly. Nice. Cute. So see, you can barely see that patch job. Look at it. That's pretty good. Okay. That looks better. Better than trying to camouflage it some other way. I like the shadow that gives. I don't know if you can see it on camera. All right. That's good. That's good. I'm out of time, way past my time. So I will come back and do some more to it Wednesday. Oh, that's wrong one. That one goes there. I don't know where my pen is. There it is. So I'll be back on Wednesday because my alarms are about to go off for taking meds and all that stuff. So, and I'll finish it then. So we got some stuff done. I wanted to finish this, but you know, sometimes it doesn't go as planned, and that's okay. I will work with it. We almost got it done. I think we at least got enough done that you can kind of see where I'm going with it, and then I'll decide if it needs anything else. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a potted plant or, you know, something up here. I don't know. Maybe. And then I'm going to cover this with something to write on, and I may just do that off camera. But it's cute, right? And it's a little pocket, so that goes in there. I'll ink any white areas that are still showing. She's looking in the window there, waiting for Santa. I don't know why she's not in bed. She's supposed to be sleeping. All right, guys. And these just are usually loose, but I could glue it in. It doesn't have to be loose, so I'll have to think about that, whether I want to glue it in or have it loose. Maybe I'll ask Dawn what she wants. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Let me figure out where my bench is so I can close this out. What else did we do? Let me grab it. Just kind of put things up here so that my horrible mess, stuff everywhere. Before my alarm goes off, because it'll cut out my video. All right, there. All right, so that's what we did. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Sorry about rushing out. And we'll talk to y'all on Wednesday. All right, bye-bye.